I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, January the 13th, where I don't know if it's a bad omen there, but the board failed to hold the gains that it saw earlier in the week on Tuesday with some limit up spots on some contract months, but moderately lower on Wednesday and then down hard, $1.50 to $2 lower on Thursday there, taking back most all the gains that had earlier in the week. Look at live cattle futures on the February contract. Wednesday was down 40 cents, Thursday down $1.65 to end the day on Thursday at 117.47. Feeder cattle on the March contract, Wednesday was down 37 cents, Thursday down $1.87 to end the day on Thursday at 127.75. Haven't really had any fat cattle trade to speak of, just really what dab they had on the Fed Cattle Exchange there, and then just a little bit of country trade up in the northern plains, but little 6,200 through Thursday, which was nothing. So I told you guys earlier in the week that Packer Cowboy game was going to be a big struggle, and it is now, because we had some guys get $1.20 on the Fed Cattle Exchange and in the country, and a lot of 119, and now that the board's sucked back up, Packers aren't going to want to give it, and your feedlots are going to be bound and determined to get really close to that, if not get that $1.20. So they might still be haggling over that thing Sunday afternoon when the football game's on. But you look at your slaughter, impressive slaughter to get started on the first full week here of the new year with 464,000 through Thursday. That's 18,000 more than the same time a year ago. Your actual live weights come in, and for the week ending December the 31st, they were back up 3 pounds at 900 pounds exactly on an average dressed steer weight, which is doesn't excite us as much because it really plunged there last week when that report come in, and we thought that our weights were really going to get down, but it was just a little cold snap there. And now they're kind of back where they were close to a year ago, but still down a little bit from a year ago. But we were hoping they would continue to go down and down, make us think that we was really on top of these show lists and real current in the feedlots, which not in too bad a shape, been slaughtering cattle right along. But you look at the feeder cattle market, El Reno, Oklahoma had 13,300 head on Wednesday. Huge run. I don't care where you're at or what you're talking about, but El Reno, and you wonder why they're getting so many cattle. It's not just because they're right on I-40 there and easy access. It's the way they manage that yard, the way they run it. If you're in there and you're wanting to buy yearling heifers, you know when to get up on the edge of your seat because they run them all together, just like they do their yearling steers, and you know right when to get in, and those cattle come in and everything works just like clockwork, and they really know how to manage that sale, and they still support your small independent buyers that want to come in, and they don't have to go through a lot of trouble getting cleared and this and that and going through commission firms or any of that kind of thing. But El Reno really doing a good job, and they're seeing the rewards from that. But you look at their market there, feeder steers were mostly steady to $2 lower, had a few midweight steers, and most of the heifers were $2 to $4 higher. Just the same that we've seen all this week, and towards the end of last week is we've seen those cattle weighing over 7.5, over 800 pounds. Those big cattle have to go right into the feed yard, have been consistently lower. But you look at the lightweight calves, and even though there's not any wheat out there, the wheat's pretty much dried up because we haven't had any moisture to speak of, and had some cold snaps that made it crawl back in the ground a little bit. But they're still seeing guys come out buying lightweight calves. Even though we don't have a lot of grazing right now, there's ample hay, and there's a lot of feed sources around. And guys are buying those. They were $5 to $10 higher in El Reno there. Spots $15 higher. But you look at real good tests of the market was on Kansas sale barns there on Thursday, which you just take a test of the load lots of 8 weights. Look there, mostly in Salina and Pratt. But you look at just the load lot drafts of 8 weights. This week they averaged from 125 to 135. Last week it was 130 to 137.75. They're on Beef Market Central. and that is straight up $2 to $5 lower, and that's just pretty much what the market's been on your big feeder cattle right there. But that's 3 minutes, and we'll talk to you next week.